Hello from Disney's Animal Kingdom. Today, I'm actually going to do something a little bit different here. I'm doing an enchanted extra called Savor the Savanna. It's actually one of the more expensive private tours here on Disney property. Right now, it clocks in around $189 to $199 per person, depending on the season. So annual pass holders do have a bit of a discount. So I'm going to try it out and see what it's like and let you know whether or not it's worth your hard-earned money. Let's do this. So incidentally, Mike and I did something kind of similar a couple of years back. It's a tour called the Wild Africa Trek right here in Animal Kingdom, and I'll link that video in the description down below. I believe this tour, the Savor the Savanna Tour, is a little bit different from that one. I think it's less walking, more leisurely, definitely has more food and includes adult beverages. So really looking forward to it. All right, it's almost time for me to check in. My tour is at 3:15. I think I was able to grab one for a party one for 3:15, so really looking forward to it. They really encourage you to check in about 15 minutes early, so I'm actually gonna head on over that way to see if they can accommodate me a little bit earlier. I think there's some forms that you need to fill out, a disclosure you need to sign and stuff like that. So we're gonna head on over to the check-in area and see what they can do for me. Yep, looks like they have different tours listed, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and talk to a cast member. Check-in, it was super easy. They typically do like a 15-minute prior to the tour check-in, but you know, I'm party of one, so all my party is here today. So the cast member was able to check me in, and I guess they give you a little lanyard with your name tag, and then they basically said that yeah, the onboarding area is pretty much right by Kilimanjaro Safari, and you know, they wanted to make sure that you bring your ID, something with your name on it, so they can make sure that you are you. So if you're thinking about doing this tour, make sure you bring some form of ID identification. And then after that, they had you sign a waiver, and that's it. And they advise you to, you know, use the restroom if you can. The tour is about 2 hours, and I don't think there's gonna be a lot of walking around. I think you're gonna be sitting in a Jeep or car or truck or something like that. But yeah, they do advise you to do that. I think they're where, if I remember correctly, where they did last time, the viewing point, the Boma, there's a restroom there, but I think that's about halfway through the tour. So if you're, yeah, you didn't need to go, definitely do that ahead. And I'm about half an hour until the tour starts. So I think they just advise to, you know, stay close and don't stray too far. And so that's what I'm gonna do, just putzing around and then wait for my tour. All right, it's just about 3:15 p.m. and it looks like our tour group is ready to head out. This tour can accommodate up to 12 people, and today we're pretty close to hitting that max capacity. Even with a full group, this experience still feels pretty intimate compared to the number of guests a single safari vehicle holds on Kilimanjaro safaris. That smaller group size definitely makes it feel a bit more personal, which is something I'm really looking forward to as we start to dive into this experience. Our main tour guide cast member just gave us a quick rundown of what's next. We'll be walking to our tour vehicle, and the onboarding area is located right near where you catch the train to Rafiki's Planet Watch. If you've been to Animal Kingdom, you'll know exactly where I'm talking about. It's not a long walk from the tour booth, which is just outside of Kilimanjaro Safaris. Oh, and just in case you're wondering, the cast member will let us know if there are any areas where photos or videos are not allowed. However, unlike some of the other tours that we've taken at Disney World and Disneyland, this one doesn't seem to include many backstage areas where filming is prohibited. And I almost forgot to mention, they didn't provide us any audio listening devices for this tour. I'm pretty sure that it's because this experience is more focused on the food and drinks, which, trust me, is what I'm most excited about. Anyways, it's nice that everything is so close, so you're not spending too much time just getting to the starting point. All right, time to get going. Let's go see what's in store.
Part of being an AZA accredited zoo is doing conservation out in the world as well. So the way that we do that is we have something called the Disney Conservation Fund. Part of being an AZA accredited zoo is doing conservation out in the world as well. So the way that we do that is we have something called the Disney Conservation Fund. We started in 1995, and since then we have raised over $130 million with animal conservation. We're really proud of it. One of those animals that we have sponsored and helped out in the wild is the okapi, and I do see an okapi butt way up in the back. So if you look on the passenger side, on the back left corner of this habitat, you'll see a little butt sticking out there. It looks like a zebra butt, but it's not. It is an okapi. Okapis are an animal that look like they're just wearing zebra sweatpants. But essentially these guys live in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Central Africa is where they're found. So think of the movie Tarzan. That's kind of the area we're talking about. And so for these guys, they're really an elusive creature. In fact, for a long time, everyone thought that they were a mythological creature, some sort of like half zebra, half giraffe type animal, and everyone thought it was not real. However, when Western scientists went over, they actually discovered the okapis, not because they saw one in the wild, but because they saw a pelt of one at a local village. And they decided to ask the village, what is that? We thought that was extinct, or we thought that was mythological. What is it? And they started explaining it to us. We got a hippo on the water's edge over here. This is one of our female hippos. This one is Panchita. I think she's got like handlebar teeth that stick out of her mouth. Hippos, about 4,000 pounds. Our keepers, they work with lots of animals, so they usually start pretty early taking animals in one at a time. So usually painted dogs and zebras are some of the first ones to go in. Usually giraffes are some of the last ones.
So I've worked with a lot of these animals. So do you have any questions right off the bat? Anything? Questions?
Do you have any live termite mounds, or are they all fake?
They're fake.
So they
Yes.
You don't have termites making mounds out there?
No. Well, thank goodness we don't have any, because that would be a
Problem,
problem, right? but yeah, I mean, we might have some that we don't know about, but we try not to have any termites. Notice that when I pulled up, she didn't really look at me. No. When he pulled up, she was like, oh, faster. She's like kind of a squish at the base, so I didn't think she looks cool across her face. I know.
Place for the next little bit. Up here, Katrina has set out some different tables for you, some different plates for you as well, but she'll explain all that to you once we get on up there. Only thing I'll let you guys know is you guys are more than welcome to leave any personal belongings you would like here on the truck if you don't think you're going to need it in the next hour 15 minutes or so. The only thing that I require you to take with you is going to be your photo ID if you plan on drinking any alcoholic beverages up there. Definitely take those, but everything else feel free to leave here on the truck. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to Katrina so she can explain what she's got up here for you.
Yes, hello, how are y'all doing today?
How are you?
Good, I hope you're hungry, brought your appetites. We have a lot of wonderful things up here for you all. I want to let you know what we got going on up here at the Boma. Hi, Brittany. There are 4 doors behind me. The only 2 you need to worry about are the 2 in the middle, because those are the restrooms. I know they're labeled, but they're single stall on the inside. Both have a toilet and a sink. So just knock before you enter, lock the door behind you. That way we don't get a line building up on either side. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about, right? But we're going to be heading up the platform here in just a moment. We also have some hand sanitizer I'm going to point out to y'all as we head up that way. But like Erin said, make sure you have your ID if you're going to enjoy any adult beverages, just to have it just in case. But I'm going to go through all the food and beverage, and then we'll divide and conquer and enjoy your time. And slivered almonds, and then we have 2 different chutneys. The green one is coriander and the yellow one is apricot. Now to our next platform, we have a couple different protein options. Starting in the middle, we have a sweet curry chicken salad. Y'all, I think ketchup is spicy and I can palate everything out here, so nothing is going to be crazy spicy. This does, it's more of a sweet curry, so nothing fiery on the palate. Definitely a Savor the Savanna favorite though. For our meats in the front, we have a dried and salted ham, which is the lighter one, and the dried and salted beef is the darker of the 2. To our last platter over here, the spice on the shrimp is going to be a tandoori marinade, and then the spice on the pineapple is tahini. It cuts the citrus super nice. And then for our adult beverages, we have 4 different South African wines for you all, 2 reds and 2 whites, and then 3 different beers. So for our wines, we have 2 different vineyards that are represented. We have our Cedarburg Vineyard, which is actually the highest elevation in all of South Africa for as far as vineyards are located. And then our Painted Wolf Winery. Did y'all get to see them out there today?
Not really. They were by the bar.
Snoozing a little bit. Yes, who else here likes an early bedtime? Sorry, animals are the same way sometimes. But for every bottle of this soap, and it goes to help painted dog conservation directly, as well as a lot of other amazing African wildlife. But all of them have sustainable practices and this little sustainability and integrity certified sticker. So you can look for that if you're ever shopping for South African wines. For our beers, all the way from Northern Africa and Morocco, we have the Casa beer. This is from one of the oldest breweries in Morocco. It's been around for over 100 years, so they know what they're doing. And then if you're looking for something a little hoppier, we have from the far off land of Tampa, so not quite Africa, but it's our Old Elephant Foot IPA. I've got a couple of those if you're really looking for something, like I said, hoppier. And then our last one from the far off land of Gainesville, Florida, we have our Tiger Eye Golden Ale. So this is a custom beer made just for Disney, and it was released this year during Earth Month. So you get to have it Earth Month all year long here at Savor the Savanna. So we are happy to give you more pairing recommendations, tasting notes, whatever you like up here at the bar. Again, just bring your ID up here. If you think we're gonna card you, we probably will. Otherwise, you can feel free to start with the food, start up here with the beverages. But this is your hour to just really enjoy and take in the ambiance of the animals and the company of the delicious food.
Okay, everything is so darn good, but we haven't made it to the dessert. The cast member did tell us to save room when she was telling us about the offerings today. Oh boy, am I glad that I did. But aren't they just too pretty to even eat? We have a choice between a brownie, a chocolate cake pop, and the s'more. And of course, I had to grab all of these.
The marshmallow.
Toasted marshmallow goodness.
It's just good.
Oh,
Just have it.
It's very good. All right, but as we go, we're gonna say goodbye to our greater flamingos as well. These are our wonderful dinner guests today. All right, so you're all clear to stand, and then since the rain is getting a little bit harder, whenever you would like, let me know. I have some ponchos underneath me. If you want a poncho, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But if at any point in time you want a poncho, just wave at me. Say, here, and I think I'll take that poncho now. I'll get it.
there she is. Oh, she might jump.
She's thinking about it.
She might jump.
So when it rains,
Wow. Come on, kitty. Come on, kitty.
like a cat.
Come on, you're jumping.
So you guys can take home with you to remember our experience, as well as maybe when you're sipping on a beverage at home, you can remember all the beverages you had here as well.
As we wrap up the tour, you might be wondering, well, was it worth it? Especially since Savor the Savanna isn't cheap. At the time of filming, this tour costs between $189 to $199 per person, not including admission to Animal Kingdom or a required park pass reservation. Anyways, so this 2-hour Enchanting Extra offers an intimate safari experience with a maximum of 12 guests. The custom safari vehicle features perimeter seating, which encourages interaction and provides great views for everybody. The tour follows a route similar to the Kilimanjaro safaris, but includes stops for better photo opportunities and closer animal encounters. Keep in mind, since this is a live animal attraction, no two tours are the same. We were lucky enough to spot cheetahs playing in the rain, a pretty rare treat that wouldn't have been possible on a standard safari. The highlight of our tour was definitely to stop at the Boma, a covered seating area overlooking the savannah. A cast member greeted us and guided us to a cozy table set with family-style dishes, including shrimp, curry chickens, hummus, bread, fruit, and cheeses. Initially, it didn't seem like enough food, but there was plenty to go around, even seconds. The Boma also offers a selection of wines and beers, perfect for unwinding while enjoying this incredible view. Of course, there was the dessert that followed with options like s'mores pot and a decadent chocolate cake pop. Both were absolutely delicious. So a few tips to keep in mind: this tour is outdoors, so dress for the weather and bring sun protection or a poncho. Florida weather is unpredictable, and though it did rain during our tour, the cast member did ask to provide complimentary ponchos, which is a really nice touch. The minimum age for this tour is 8, and while it's great for older kids, it might not be the best fit for younger kiddos who struggle with sitting or aren't animal enthusiasts. Overall, I think Savor the Savanna was a memorable experience. Between the semi-private safari, the delicious food and drinks, and the incredible animal encounters, I'd highly recommend it for anyone looking to try something unique at Animal Kingdom. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed following along with me today, and we will see you in our next video.